Joining us on the program is Debby Goldsberry, who's the co-founder of the Cannabis Action Network, acronym CAN. Welcome to our show. What is CAN all about?
Well, Cannabis Action Network is what's called an unincorporated association. We're a charity. We're a group of people who have got together for a common cause. Our cause or our goal is to legalize cannabis.
Okay. Now, I've noticed from being involved with the hemp movement that it's not always that the ladies seem to want to speak up or they're not out there in the front lines. You are a good example of someone who's not intimidated by being out there. I think they're afraid for their children. I think they're afraid of the repercussions that can happen in their professional lives. How do you deal with that?
Let's see. Well, I don't have children. No, it's easy. Professional life, no. Professional activist.
Well, what do you tell these people?
Yeah. Well, basically, I think what it is it's a difference between the way that male and female are socialized in our country. Females are literally socialized to be more in the background. We find in the marijuana movement and what's going on that when females do join the movement, they're working behind a table or they're in some sort of a supportive role. Usually they choose that position because that's where we would feel more comfortable. When a woman actually does step forward, there is a lot of discrimination. It's not discrimination solely within the marijuana movement, the whole entire country, if not the whole entire world, however that works. But there is a lot within the marijuana movement, and that's like everyone says, there's a lot of middle-aged men involved. A lot of it is the Washington, D.C. political scene. It's been like this here for hundreds of years.
Okay.
As far as getting more people involved, I think it's important for women who are involved to stand up and to take a forward role in the movement. That's what we're all about.
Now, occasionally, I've heard the reference to girls that can, the ladies that can. So, and you're a co-founder. Who else put this together with you?
Let's see. Well, the Cannabis Action Network wasn't actually founded by all women or girls. What it started out with, it was a group of college students around the state of Illinois, along with National NORML and Wisconsin NORML. In the long run, when it came down to it, after we'd gone through a couple years, let's see. Well, we didn't actually start CAN right away, I should say. We started the Hemp Tour project. Cannabis Action Network came after about a year of hemp tours, after we decided that we did need to start some sort of a movement. At that time, a group of us, I guess you could say friends, got together, girls who were friends, and we started a national organization. So that's how big.
Now you tour, I know from reading in High Times magazine, and I've been in association, of course, with the hemp organization, and so you do go coast to coast, and you've had the opportunity to see firsthand the enthusiasm or lack of enthusiasm towards the hemp movement. How strong of a body do you think we have?
I think we have a very strong body of enthusiastic supporters out there. What we found when we go across the country, it pretty much goes with the marijuana laws. In a place like New York City or a state where there's a decriminalization, decriminalization law, we don't get as much support. In a place where there's a lot of harsh laws, a lot of police intimidation, we get a lot of support. Basically what's happened is that the more the government fights against us, the more that we, the users, the cannabis supporters, realize that we have to get together and work to legalize.
Okay, now when you raise your voice in society, you raise it with strength and pride, but a lot of people still aren't being able to have the opportunity to hear. Now, do you plan to continue with hemp tours, and so how do you plan to continue to promote them?
Well, the way the hemp tour works is it has a couple different levels. It starts off with the beginning level. The beginning level is to get our activists, to find the people who are interested in legalizing, the activist supporters who can carry on bigger and better projects. Usually takes a couple years in any given area to get a good solid core of activists. After that, we change the platform. Instead of finding our activists, what we do is we want to educate the public. We would call that an A tour, a main focus tour, and we bring along a national speaker, like Jack Herrera, LV Music, and the medical marijuana patient. Mm-hmm. That's the point that we're at right now, doing our A tours, educational forums to reach out into the public. That involves things like debates and lectures, public forums. After that, and that's the point that we're at right now, after this, we plan on developing a new strategy. How do we get bigger? How do we get better? Our goal right now is to have statewide conferences in every state, get the organizers together to meet at roundtable discussions, and to form a more direct political agenda, lobbying, direct demonstration type of things.
Okay. Now you stem out of Lexington, Kentucky. Are there chapters or other CAN organizations across America that people can contact too?
There are CAN organizations. The Cannabis Action Network is not a membership organization. It's a network of organizations across the country and activists. Involved in the network, we have about 200 organizations. It has grown exponentially. 2 years ago, we only had 5. So instead of actually encouraging people to become CAN organizations, we encourage people to develop their own organization, study local drug policy, come up with something that will be effective right in their hometown.
From touring coast to coast, and I know you've had a chance to meet a lot of people, what have you seen firsthand? What injustice have you seen firsthand that are stemming from the prohibition laws that you really think need to be immediately changed?
Oh boy, I've seen a lot of injustices. The main thing that I think is that we need to educate our enforcement police departments, basically. I could tell you a story about Oakland, California. We were out in Oakland at a Grateful Dead show. What we do is we set up hemp information tables, display books, T-shirts, and stuff like that. We had a permit to set up the table. We're at the Grateful Dead lot, like I said. Police come by, they say, "Where's your permit?" We show them the permit. They say, "Marijuana table, permit, this can't be possible. Marijuana's illegal. You can't be here. You can't do this." They say, "We have to call the sergeant, hold on to the permit." So police officer has a permit. Well, they're motorcycle cops. The guy gets on his motorcycle with the permit and he leaves. Just leaves. The other cops say, "Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because even if you have your permit, we're going to park our motorcycles right in front of your table. Nobody's going to come up to your table." The sergeant comes, he says, "Where's your permit?" We say, "Permit?" The cop just drove away with our permit. He said, "You don't have a permit, you can't be here, we'll arrest you if you don't leave right now." So right there we have it. It's the discrimination against the marijuana, it's discrimination against the culture, and it's just blatant violations, and they don't really understand the Constitution. And that's what we're trying to do.
Now, you say you set up booths at the Grateful Dead concerts. What kind of information do you give out at these booths?
Well, our main focus is what we call our hemp museum. We have different displays of hemp products that come from around the world. Right now you can import hemp products. We display the seeds and the seed cake, the granola bars, the cloth, different things like that. We pass out information and we sell products that display our message. Basically, we feel if somebody wears a T-shirt around with a marijuana slogan, tens of thousands of people will see that message over the course of the next couple of years.
Excellent. If you had the opportunity to encourage somebody to join you, would you encourage them to go on the road, work in their own local areas, and how would you go about recruiting that individual?
I would encourage each person to choose their focus individually. Decide what you're best designed to do within this movement. There are a million facets that we need to cover, basically.
What do you tell ladies when they come up and say, "I want to get involved, but I'm afraid if I do, I'll lose my children"?
Well, that's a tough question. I tell people, first of all, what they need to do is they need to educate themselves. When it comes to a situation, something like losing a child, number one, you're going to be faced with the authorities. When you're faced with the authorities, that's basically what we say is it's an on-the-spot type thing. Educate yourself so if you're faced with a problem, you can argue your point. There's no reason why you should have to worry about your children being taken away. There's nothing wrong with supporting the First Amendment.
Are you primarily an informational organization, or can someone call if they need help in a particular area and find that type of help?
Well, like I said, we're a network, and we can act as a referral to different organizations, whereas we might not have that many resources or much information at our Kentucky base. We can refer you to all kinds of people all over the country.
So you can help people take care of problems, hopefully, in their own areas.
Right.
If you had the opportunity to say one thing to the people sitting at home listening that might encourage them to get off their fanny and do something productive, what would that be?
I would have to say that it's working, and that's what people have to understand. The problem that we have right now is that the situation has reached a critical point. Our laws are bad. The laws are so bad that people don't even realize anymore that there is a problem as far as the Constitution. They don't realize they have the right to speak up for their rights. They don't realize there's the right to protest. They don't realize that they can pass out information about marijuana. It's illegal. So what I would tell people is basically the only way that we're going to change this, the only way that we're going to change this debate is to get out there, to exercise our First Amendment rights, and to talk to people about it. Once you start talking to people, you become empowered. People understand that it's the truth, and literally you're thanked a million times.
It's been nice having you on our show. It's refreshing to hear someone speak as honestly as you do. I wish you all the luck in everything that you're doing. I could be back on our show again sometime. As we've learned today, there's a lot going on in the world that we still need yet to change. We can't do it without a group of people joining each other to make that difference. Please, take the time, take the courage to make a difference in your community. Until next time, keep strong, keep happy, keep wise.